Hey guys, welcome to tutorial number 12 in the Godot Space Sidescroller tutorial series. In this tutorial, we're going to be setting up a basic title screen for the game and kind of wrapping some stuff up. We're kind of getting to the end of our tutorial series, but we're going to start doing some of the final touches to our game. So I'm going to press the plus button right here to add a new scene. And we're going to do a 2D scene right here. So I'm just going to hit 2D. And for no 2D, I'm just going to call this title screen. I'm going to add a child node. And I'm going to add control. So I'm going to kind of go over the basis of the Godot nodes real quick. So spatial, I think it's called spatial. I call it spatial on accident. Spatial is like 3D nodes in Godot. It basically is just the 3D types of nodes. Control is the UI in Godot, so you can use this in 3D or 2D. It's just all the UI and stuff that you put on screen. Node 2D is a 2D the 2D node in Godot. So we're going to be adding a control node to Godot because we're going to be adding some UI for our menu. And in this control node, I'm going to go over, press rect right here to set a rectangle. And I'm going to set size to 160 by 90. Make sure you set this to your window size so it fits the entire screen. Now, under this control node, oh, I did not mean to hit that. Sorry. Cancel. Add a new child node. We're gonna add a button. Don't do a touchscreen button. We just want to do a normal standard button. And I'm gonna drag this out and resize it and do all that stuff to it, make it look a bit better. And you guys can position this however you want. And I'm just gonna put this in the center. Why not? I don't really do start right here. Start. And this isn't our font. This is pretty ugly because we're using a game that's super low. It doesn't have very much pixels, so we're gonna use our pixel font. And I'm just gonna drag that into the custom font right here. There you go. Now it says start right here. But I kind of want a smaller font right here. So I'm just going to right click this font.tres file. Don't do this. This is the font data. We're not modifying the font data. We're modifying the way it interprets the font, which is the TRES file. And press duplicate. And I'm just going to call this font small. Press duplicate. And in font small, in the settings, I'm going to set size from 16 to 8. And I'm going to set outline size to 0. We don't want any outline because it's going to be so small we don't really need any. And actually, I'm going to save the title screen. And I'm just going to go in the UI folder. I'm going to save it here. I'm going to call it title screen. And I'm going to save it as a TSCN. And along with putting everything together, we're probably going to make a game over screen and stuff like that when the player dies. So in this button, instead of setting the font to a font.tres, we want to set font small. Now you can see it's a lot smaller of the text, which will look a lot nicer with our button. And I'll just center it for now. We don't really have our title in yet, but I'll probably move it around later. Now you can run this scene. And you can see we have our default start button. And I'm going to go over theming the entire UI probably in the next video, so it doesn't look like this ugly kind of built-in Godot. Not saying that the Godot theme is ugly, but when it's this small, when you're using this much pixels, and it has filtering on it, it's going to look not great at all. But if you have a higher quality game, you can use the Godot's built-in UI. But we're going to go over making a custom theme probably in the next video. So right now we're just going to get the layout. So in this button, I'm going to call it Start Button. I'm going to probably move this down because I'm going to set up the title. Let's hit Layout. I'm probably going to... I'm just going to go back to center. I'm going to try to make sure I don't move it to the right at all. So in... Let's see, is there a transform right here? Hit rectangle right here. And in the position, I'm just going to move the Y position down a bit so I have room for like the title of the game. I'm going to add a child node. We're going to add a label. Remember, we use the label to add text to the screen without granting the user access to edit it. And we're going to call this title. Text. And in custom fonts of this title screen text, I'm just going to set this to font.tres. And I'm just going to call this Space Game. Super cool. Space. And I'm going to set the H alignment to center. And I'm going to add more to this title. This looks ugly. Let's see. Space tutorial game. There we go. I'm just going to center that. There we go. And we have our title on here. We have our start button. Let's see. You can also, you can put a label down here. I'm going to do this for you guys. I mean, you can, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to call this buy, and I'm going to move this down here. And I'm going to add this to font small because this is going to be like a small little thing down here. Again, lots of this stuff is optional, but you just write buy ... I'll just write my name for right now, but you guys can write your name too if you want, and then you just have this right in the corner. There you go. You have this little... Oh, I moved the entire UI thing down. So now you have our basic layout for our title screen. Oh, and I pressed the run button. You want to make sure you hit the run scene button so you can run the title screen. And you press start, and you can see when you press it, nothing happens. So we're going to add a script to our button to make it go to the world screen. So I'm going to have the add script button, and we're actually just going to put this in the title screen path. Yeah, that's already set up. Great. Create. And let's see. So you can see that the start button actually has a signal. So if I select this and go to node, it has a signal called button down, button up, and pressed. I'm just gonna do pressed. And I'm gonna set the signal to itself. I'm just gonna connect it to itself. And so I have the function. So to change the scene, you want to do get tree.change scene. Make sure you don't do change scene to, that will not work. And copy the path from your world right here. World.tscn. I'm just going to paste that straight into here. And now it says when the button is pressed, get tree.change scene to the world.tscn. So now I'm going to save that. Now I'm going to press the run scene button. And I press the start button. And it loads straight in. That's awesome. And you can die. Let's die real quick. And it'll go back to the world. But let's send them straight back to the title screen when they die. Since we don't have a game over screen that tells them to go back to the game over screen, we're just going to do that for right now. And for practice. So when the particles, open your player destroy particles right here. And instead of get tree.reloads current scene, we want to do .change scene And we want to paste in our world path. So now I can press play. And it doesn't really matter. I'm already at the screen. I accidentally pressed the play button to run the default scene, but that gets saved. Oh, I said to go to the world. My bad. Don't do the world. You want to do the title screen. What am I thinking? Title screen, yeah. There we go. Yeah, and I make dumb mistakes all the time whenever I'm coding, so don't feel bad if you guys like are having an issue and then figure it out, and if it's like something dumb, it's all good. It happens to me all the time. So, brings me back to the title screen, and I could go back into it. So, that's great. We have it like, we're basically just putting the final pieces to the game together. And there's still like lots to do if you wanted to release this as like a full-on game, but this is just the basics for the game. This is just the structure of what you're going to be building. So thanks for watching this tutorial. Thanks for all of the stuff recently on YouTube, and I hope you guys learned something new. See you guys.